Classroom Teachers Association. I'm here for just to kind of make sure that we keep things transparent and so that you have a better understanding of a couple of things that we're kind of working through right now. We've talked to you about exit surveys. So what I did was I went and looked at found a policy that's out there by another school board district and changed the name to Leon County Schools, so you had a draft version. But that it would be a resignation exit interview for non-contracted employees that would allow you to get data from folks as they left the district as long as they weren't terminated. That was the one thing that was in there. So as people resign and you want to get some information from folks, that would be a policy that you could enact, because we've talked about it, but I don't know where we are on an exit interview process, but at least we have that policy.
I hadn't contemplated a policy change necessarily, but I had taken the issue up a number of times with our now former HR director. So while there may have been some progress under her leadership, we're now in a transition period again.
Of course.
So it may take a little bit longer.
Question, Madam Chair. I don't know what research has been done or will be done, but would it be possible for us to see if this particular, what can I call it, process, entity, has not happened in the past? And if so, why did we stop it? I'm just curious. I suggested it's not a good thing to do now. So in keeping with where we're going with this, and it's all back again to the history and what's going on. Sometimes I think we keep reinventing, and we just need to know if we're really just reinventing. But I go along with the necessity of having this be something that we take a look at. All right?
Scott, you're bringing this to us, and I think he should have his time extended because we're talking to him.
Well, I stopped it.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
So once he starts talking again, I'll start it back.
Okay,
Oh,
because we're asking you questions and stuff, so I'm trying to get the intention of this. Are you saying that this is something you'd like us to look at as a policy? Is that?
In terms of the policy, so that way, as there's information when you have a closed board meeting, that's what's in here, that information about people that would leave the district, that you would get information as to, constructive feedback from folks.
Okay, and I don't know what I'm looking at here exactly, but it looks like it's.
It's just the first front and last page. The rest of it is the next part that I was going to talk
So, Madam Chair?
Yes.
Quick, we keep interrupting him. I need to stop, let him finish, I'm sorry, and then.
Proceed.
The next part where it says A and B at the top are two examples of the data that was given to Leon Classroom Teachers Association based on the survey from the climate survey. If you'll notice, we were given all the data that included, and I didn't include all of it, but there's some comments that come in here that talk about, things about people that appreciate about their school, things they'd like to see improved about certain things. And then on the B part, you're going to notice what we received this year, which was just numbers. And that was a public records request that was given back in July. And we have yet to receive that information, but we would like to get it in its raw form so that we could see that as for terms of the comments and things as well, not just numbers. I will bring to your attention that as far as the numbers, you can take a look at them last year to this year to kind of see the comparisons, but I thought you might like to see that information as well. And then the last thing is, we've been in a couple of different conversations, and some of the things, whether it goes down to benefits and having a second look for people to look at benefits, or whether it goes down to language that was adopted in another district through the bargaining process, there is concern about ramifications of dings and audits and other things. And so when we start kind of looking at making choices based off of those types of things, I just left you at the last page to kind of think about. The time is always right to do what is right. So if we're going to do some things that kind of address the funding issues that we're dealing with, we're going to have to deal with them at a higher level. And sometimes we're going to have to maybe even buck the system a little bit in order to go ahead and do right by the folks that do the jobs.
Yes.
Did you submit a public records request through our public records court? I've forgotten her new title, but Julie Jernigan?
Yes.
Back in July?
Yeah.
And you've received nothing from?
But that one document for there's a number of things that we requested, and we were being patient with a lot of things that were coming through. But as they've come through, they weren't necessarily in the format that we traditionally received them, or with the level of transparency that we'd kind of hoped for.
Well, Madam Chair,
Yes.
at least this document starts with my most favorite statement by Martin Luther King Jr. I've said it through the years and given him credit. The time is always right to do what is right. I do that. I guess what I'm trying to see, and help me, Board Member Rasmussen, is this different from what you've been asking about and for?
No, this is, well, he has done some research to try to help us help him, basically, I think, to say, maybe you want to put a policy in place. But one of the things that came up, and we all were nodding in agreement, was that an exit interview or an exit survey,
Right.
especially if you could guarantee anonymity, would be a useful and helpful tool in finding out if somebody's leaving the profession, why, are they going to a charter school, a private school, are they going to moving for family reasons, or was there something about our school system that we might learn from them in an effort to improve?
Right, okay.
That's the first part of what he's talking about.
Okay.
Correct.
And that I think I understand, because I know that there are many entities in this community that do the exit interviews, so I'm just trying to make certain I'm on the right page here, the same page.